So you have in front of you a map of the world. And then this map, you have these areas that show kind of a dark color. Now, if you read the question, the prompt, it actually says what the color is supposed to represent. So this says the map above shows areas of shifting cultivation, a form of subsistence agriculture. So what is subsistence agriculture? Well, you have to think about a few things when you think about subsistence. Subsistent means to survive. So you have to think that the people that plant food in these places are just planting it for their survival and the survival of their family or their kin. You also want to think that they're planting this food so that they're not going to sell it. They're not going to commercially make money out of it. They're just planting enough food to survive. So right off the bat, they ask you to respond in the first part of the question to what is subsistence agriculture. Now, knowing that I already gave you the definition, this should be a relatively easy part to answer. Define subsistence agriculture. Now, make sure that when you define subsistence agriculture, you don't just limit your response to something like food not sold in a market. You have to actually say that the subsistence agriculture means that it's agriculture or farming for people to survive along with their families. Now, remember, also include something like food that's not commercially sold or food that's not for mass consumption. That is subsistence agriculture. Now, you also want to look at part B, which says describe the practice of shifting cultivation. Now, shifting cultivation is a type of subsistence agriculture. But shifting cultivation involves a process, and to be able to understand and describe the process, you don't just need to list the steps. If that was the case, this would just say list the steps of shifting cultivation. But this says to actually describe them. So you must literally say what the step is and describe the step. For part C, explain one reason why shifting cultivation was sustainable in the past. You have to explain why shifting cultivation was more widespread before, or more available, or more popular before. You can't simply talk about why it's not here anymore. You have to simply state why it was so popular in the past. And you just really have to give one reason, but you have to also explain the reason. Now for part D, explain 2 reasons why shifting cultivation is expected to diminish during the 21st century. You really need to go ahead and look at your textbook. The Rubenstein textbook has a section on Chapter 9, Key Issue 4, that explains this part very clearly. Now remember, you don't just have to list the 2 reasons why shifting cultivation is expected to diminish. You must also explain them. So please make sure you look at your textbook, and please make sure you follow each one of these steps.